that mean?
I will just go over it.
And then I put it to record to the cloud, and now where I found the go live.
Bottom. Hand over the host to me real quick, and I'll do it. And then...
Where would wart remover be?
Let me handle it to you.
Okay.
You know how to do that?
You are host now.
Okay.
What, honey?
Is I'm gonna go
Thank
live.
you. Oh, sure.
Facebook.
Thank you.
Guys, as y'all jumping on, can you please mute yourselves? That would be super great. Sharing a group.
Chris, it was hard to hear you because people weren't muted, so you got muffled out. So guys, if you could just jump on and mute, just make sure that you're muted as you come on, that would be great. Please and thank you. There's a lot of people who aren't muted.
Well, Chris, you want to get them out?
Okay, it should be recording into the group. 1 second, I'll turn it back over. It's recording into the group. Let me mute everyone. People neglect to know how to press their mute buttons. Amazing. With that being said, guys, you are in for an amazing training. I am going to hand the host back over to Francisco because he can mute everyone while stuff is going on. And I believe that you'll see the tab at the bottom. It should say that we're going live, Francisco. So guys, I know we're a couple minutes late in starting. That gave you time to maybe send it out to some more people in your team. They're definitely going to want to be a part of this. Mike and Cassandra are going to totally rock it out.
I don't see where I can go live on Facebook.
Don't worry about it. It's already going live. It should be. So, all right, guys, I'm going to unmute myself. So over to Mike and Cassandra.
Hey, thanks so much. And thanks, Chris, for the introduction, and Francisco for taking over there. We appreciate you doing that. So, guys, we're super excited. We just came off of convention. We have a lot of new changes going on that are going to help us build our business even easier. But we just want to let everybody know that since the beginning that we were here, a lot of us were here actually without a lot of these tools coming out. And I think with the new tools and the new app and things like that are going to be covered on the 90-day run call.
New product.
Yeah, new product. It's going to get enticing to maybe want to jump to things that haven't really built the business and the culture. These are additions, but we want to just make it clear that the things that built the business and the excitement and the things that we're going to share are really what's going to stand the test of time. So Cassandra's going to jump in. There's 2 monthly goals, and why don't you get right into it?
Yeah, and if you don't have a pen and paper, or jot this on your phone, and then I'll go over this at the very end. So first and foremost, before we get into how we built the business and how we helped our teams get to their goals, this is your monthly goal. So every single month, shoot for this goal bare minimum. And if you're brand new, this is a great way to start. So there's 2 monthly goals. Number 1 for this month, 7 new Dose customers. That is your goal. 7 new customers on Dose. And then the second monthly goal is going to be 3 new business partners, 3 new Elevapreneurs coming in with a pack, whether it's the 250 or the 500. So number 1, 7 new Dose customers. Number 2, 3 new business partners coming in with a pack. That should be the bare minimum, your 2 goals. Once you do this, minimum, you will make $439.66 USD, bare minimum. So maybe if you had 3 new business partners all come in on $500 packs, it would be more than that. And depending on if your Dose customers were retail or smart ship, but bare minimum, you're going to make about $440. That is absolutely amazing. And then I know some of you don't have packs like in Australia, like in New Zealand, and that's okay. We can come up a game plan for you, but for people that can get the packs, these will be your monthly goals.
Yeah, and it's not always going to be that way, right? So for other countries that don't have packs, once the country does open, you guys will have packs. So this is the game plan across the board. But again, in the interim, with other countries, we'll just build the way that we were building. So guys, if this sounds like a lot, you might be saying, hey, 7 customers is a lot. 3 new business partners is a lot. Sorry, the dog's chewing on my shoe there. You might be saying that that's a lot, and that's okay. You don't have to get 7. You don't have to get 3 new business partners. But this is just a good outline. What it does, it keeps people active. It keeps people actively sharing the business opportunity, sharing the customer testimonials, sharing stories. It keeps you active, okay, in building that.
And I also want to add, by doing this and showing your team how to do this, they are going to achieve the most important rank in the company, which is star. So this will get you to star. That's it. This is the game plan to get you to star. So you already know how to get there, right? So let's kind of get into the steps and what we did to build a business to get people that first rank.
Yeah, go ahead. I'm just going to change your hand.
We're not going to go into that.
Okay, go ahead.
Okay, so number one, most important is to be excited. When we got started, and every single day we're going to be celebrating our 2-year anniversary this next month, or actually this month, in about a week and a half. And the most important thing, doesn't matter if it's day 1 or you've been in this business for a little bit longer or as long as us, is you always have to be excited for the newest person you're talking to, because if you're not excited, they're not excited. So number 1, be excited. Plus, we have a lot to be excited about. So it sounds easy, guys, but really we can never forget that. Always be excited. So what's number 2?
Yeah, when you are excited, share stories. So the number 1 thing is, if you're talking to someone, let's say you did a post, for example, and a good thing that we should mention is to go through the Getting Started training. We'll mention that after, guys.
Mm-hmm.
So you'll know in the Getting Started training how to share on social media and things like that. But let's say you share a post on social media and you shared a weight loss story. That's how you can connect somebody to what they really want, right? If somebody needed to lose weight and they're curious about how they lost weight, that's a really good way to do that. You want to share stories that might resonate with other people. If somebody needs to make more money, maybe it's your friend who lost their job, or they're looking for a new opportunity, or they were talking about getting that second job on top of the job. This could be a great opportunity to say, hey, you know what? So-and-so was going to get another job. And, you could look in Team Rise community there. There's a lot of great testimonials for you guys to share. So number 2 is just sharing stories. And if you can get really good at connecting people to stories and not being the expert, you're going to do really, really well.
Yeah, and I want to share as well, in our previous business adventure, we got really sciencey and we were explaining things, and I'm telling you, it slowed our business down, but it also slowed the amount of people that we were helping. It decreased that because people, I don't even care if you like the science, because we do, but I'm telling you, if you want to help a lot of people and you want to build a successful business, and what you do to someone is what they're going to do when they come into your business, if and so and when. You always want to keep it simple and duplicatable and share stories. So remember this, and you guys have probably heard this before, but stories sell and facts tell. So just get really good at being a storyteller. And I want to cover this as well. If you're brand new and maybe you're still working on your personal product story, maybe you jumped into the business and you said, hey, I trusted the person that introduced me. I saw the business opportunity, and maybe you haven't even gotten your products yet. Remember, you already have stories. You have thousands of stories to share. Just borrow people's stories in the community.
And that's what we did. I don't think some people realize too, when we got started, the only story we actually had was Mark Willinson's story, because none of us had been on the product long enough and there hadn't been a customer base before. We were starting at ground zero. So Mark Willinson's story was powerful enough. And then as month 2 and 3 came along, there was a lot of other stories that happened. So I know this might sound different to people. They're like, hey, they built a whole business based on telling stories. But it's true. If you ever notice, we hear Chris Schweda, leading our calls a lot. And he'll get into mindset and he'll get into, manifesting and things like that, but he'll always tie it into a story, because you'll remember a story. That's right. Stories sell, facts tell. Thank you, Tina, for that. So that's the number 1 thing you want to get good at, and not being the expert, because people look at you and they say, hey, I can't remember all that sciencey stuff. What's a nootropic? You know,
I don't even use that
what's
word.
that? Yeah.
What is that?
I do sometimes. I like the word, right? But there you go. Who knows? It may be holding myself back by using the sciencey terms, right? So
Don't do it.
yeah, number 3.
Number 3 is sharing the product. So sharing a cup of coffee or sharing the opportunity. So again, when we got started and we continue to do this, being in this business for 2 years, we still have our list. So I want everyone to make a list. If you're brand new, make your list, but also if you've been in for a little bit, make a new list. Your list should be brand new every single 90 days. And why I say that is because people's goals change every single 90 days. So there's people that we've introduced this opportunity to, or, oh my God, Chris is funny, the mustache, the product. And it wasn't their time, and that's okay. But we follow back up with them because maybe in 90 days or maybe in 9 months, who knows? They were ready and they said yes. So keep in mind, just if someone says no to you right now, just remember it's a not now, and keep them on your list. So I want you guys, as we're going to be going into this 90-day game plan, this 90-day run, recreate those lists. I'm going to go over that really quickly. Number 1, make a list of people you thought about for the product. Like really everyone you know, love, care about, and people that you've met should be on that list, right? Everyone can benefit from this.
Family, friends,
people, acquaintances, you name it, make that list.
You're just sharing a cup of coffee. Think of it that way. Don't think like, I want to sell to my family and friends. Just think, hey, this helped me. This helped a lot of people. I know it can help a lot of people. And besides that, it's just a cup of coffee that makes you feel great. So that should be something very naturally that you share. You don't have to be, again, don't be an expert. Don't
be weird. You're just excited to help someone because you think it can help them. You're just sharing a cup of coffee. That's or maybe some of the other new products that we have.
That's right. That's the same thing that we did with our family. And we know that it can help people. So we just say, hey, I want you to try this thing. I think you'd really like it. And sure enough, they did. And they've been ordering for 2 years, actually, this month.
Some of them have joined the business, which is awesome. So that's the first list, product list. Number 2, opportunities. So there's a few different people that are going to be on your opportunity list. For us, when we got started, we thought of a few different people in a few different categories. Number 1, people we knew, we loved, we cared about, that we wanted to share this opportunity with, that we wanted to lock arms with, that said, hey, this would be fun to do together. Some of your good best friends should be on that list. Maybe it's some family members. The other list and that opportunity was people that we knew were struggling, people that we knew that could use an extra $500 to $1,000 a month. Think about those people too. Maybe people that have second jobs. And then the third person or type of person on that opportunity list was people that I thought would be either A, great at this, or they had a great network to tap into. So again, this could just be an acquaintance, someone you look up to, somebody in business. They would really rock this out. I would love to have them on my team. And that would be the other person on the opportunity list. So list number 3, which is my favorite list, is called your chicken list. We all have it. It's the 222 list. So you think these people you've already crossed off in your off your list on list number 1 and 2, which you think are too rich, too happy, too skinny, too happy, you name it, the 222 list. Well, guess what? Those people need it too. And you need to make your chicken list and reach out to those people. So I want you to make a separate list for your chicken list.
Essentially the people that you're afraid, that business guy or woman that's like, really successful. You think, oh, they don't need this. They're already successful.
Or maybe you're just too scared to talk to.
Yeah, it could be someone intimidating or whatever. Put that on your list. Maybe that's not the first person you speak to. Maybe you get your feet wet and you message your friends, family, things like that. But definitely don't take them off your list. Like Cassandra said, every 90 days you can make a new list, because through social media, through things like that, you're adding people from Facebook groups, or you're meeting people in your local community. Those are all new people that can go on your new list.
And I want to encourage people, don't think about yourself when you're reaching out to people. Think about how you can help the person. You never know what's going on behind closed doors. We have plenty of stories of people that we thought were happy, or maybe they didn't need this opportunity or this product. And then once they got started in the business or the product, they're like, oh my goodness, thank you so much. This has literally changed my life. the opportunity, the product, both. If it wasn't for you, X, Y, and Z wouldn't have happened. So don't assume, guys. A lot of things are going on in people's lives, and this is exactly what they need.
I'll tell you what, too, a quick story on that so you guys can understand how powerful that is. When we messaged Sean and Kim McLean from North Florida, these guys obviously in the last 2 years have knocked out an incredible international business. We've met so many people, through this incredible opportunity. But one, we didn't know how much the product was going to affect them. They were actually on our list because there were people that we wanted to do business with. We looked at them and we're like, hey, they're pretty cool. We would love them to be involved in what we're doing. We didn't know that it would, one, help them tremendously, both product and financially. And the other coolest part, I'm going to say, because obviously this is a business, so we lead with business first, but I'll tell you what, probably the best benefit that we've ever received from sharing this is that they're some of our very best friends we've traveled the world with. So lifelong memories. You never know, guys, by pulling somebody into this community, maybe they're, as like-minded and like-hearted as you are. And, you're going to create friendships and memories that last a long time. I don't know about you, but that's important to us. I think that's why we love our community, not only in Team Rise, but in this entire company. So that's really big. I wanted to make sure people knew that.
Yeah, absolutely. And I wish we had time to share all of the stories that have happened just because we said yes. So, number 4 is connect. Connect people. Connect people to a story. We have an amazing Team Rise community page. If you're not in there, plug in there, or maybe your team, runs their customer page, whatever customer page is that you're using, plug people into that. So, and we'll kind of get into exactly what we say to people and kind of maybe do a little bit of a dialogue here. Connect people, connect someone else, connect another leader, right? So when we got started, we didn't even know what we were doing. But what we knew is we were excited. We used the tools and, used the videos, used the opportunity Zooms, used how the product worked, shared the stories. And then when people had questions, we just pass the ball, as you probably heard Chris say again and again, pass the ball, let them make the shot, you get paid. It's pretty simple. So just connecting people, I think, is super important, and kind of explain why.
Yeah, guys. So when you connect, let's say I'll use you're connecting a leader. So for example, if we have a prospect, and let's say we connect them to Chris, the reason why we do it is because most people join people, not necessarily businesses, right? They actually join people, but they also are joining a group of people. They want to join a community. Most people want a sense of purpose. They want to be a part of something. So if it's just us answering the questions, maybe they're looking at us saying, hey, well, these guys are, the experts. And this is how you avoid being the expert. One way anyway is by connecting them. So we might connect them with a story first. We might connect them to a resource when they ask a question. And then when they have more questions that maybe we don't have a resource for, like a PDF or a video, we'll say, hey, you know what? Our good friend and business partner, Chris, he's been doing this a lot longer than we have. He's absolutely phenomenal at answering questions. He actually helped us get started. I'm going to connect you with him. You can ask him anything. And we're looking forward for your questions to be answered properly. So what you're doing is you're just connecting them to a resource because people obviously want their questions answered properly. And when you word it that way, it assures them that they're going to get what they're looking for.
Right.
Yeah.
Plus, we have fun connecting with new people all the time. And I encourage you to use that connect method. And before you do, make sure you do steps 1, 2, and 3. Be excited, share stories, and sharing the product or the opportunity. Make sure they're plugging into some sort of a resource, a story, and opportunity Zooms. If you're not using the opportunity Zooms, guys, that's one thing that's really exploded our business, is using that tool. They're on 3 nights a week, and people get the chance to hear a little bit about the business, but more so what the product is doing for people and how it's changing their lives. So if you're not using that, you're missing out. Honestly, the opportunity Zooms are absolutely phenomenal.
Yeah, so a good rule of practice, guys, just write this down. I really think that this is going to be helpful. Before you connect somebody, before you connect your upline or a leader or whoever you're using to connect, make sure that they're connected to a resource. Make sure that they've seen a video that pertains to the question they're asking. Make sure they even know what they're talking about. I mean, they would be a little luckier than we were, because in the beginning, we didn't actually have any of those resources. We got on a plane not even knowing that it was coffee, but that's okay. And I know the McLeans were 4 hours into their 16-hour one-way drive before they knew it was coffee. But obviously make sure that people have some idea of what it is. So they're not asking those, ABC questions to the person you're connecting. They might just say things like, well, how much is it? And how do I get started? And that's a good place to connect someone.
Right. So let me just go over real quick the tools. So write this down if you don't have this, ahappydose.com has a couple different testimonial videos, and it has the product video on there. And I know that we have the Ella app launching today, which is super, super exciting. They'll go over that here at 1:00 p.m. Eastern time.
Jared and Sylvia are covering that.
Right. But the tools that we have been using is ahappydose.com. And then for the opportunity Zooms, you can get a recording. We have some recordings as well. But the live opportunity Zooms are Sunday, Tuesday, and Thursday at 9 p.m. Eastern time. So you can catch the live.
Yeah, write that down. You know what a good practice also is to put them in your calendar. So as you guys are listening along, Cassandra's going to repeat those times, but put them in your calendar and set an alert. I noticed that when I put things in my calendar, it actually doesn't alert me unless I put alert. So I put an hour before and 15 minutes before. That could help you guys. I know I'm not the most organized person in the world, but if I do that, there's no way that I can miss it, right?
And also the opportunity Zooms, if you don't know the stories, it gives you an opportunity to learn some of the stories. So we love learning other people's stories as well. So let's kind of get into how would you speak to somebody, briefly cover that, and just seeing what we're doing for time 12:22 or make a good time.
Yeah, we won't take too much longer.
So if you're introducing somebody, what does that look like? Let's just talk about the product for a second.
Yeah, so for example, let's say you do a post, right? I'm just going to use a post because once you go through the Getting Started training, you'll understand how to post curiosity posts on social media.
I was going to say the Getting Started training, if you guys haven't gone through that yet, but is in your back office. Highly recommend doing that. I think it literally goes into every single detail.
Okay, perfect.
So why don't we just say we just got started in the business, or we've been in the business for a while and we thought of somebody that we want to share, maybe we want to share the product with.
Well, I'll tell you what.
What would you say?
Why don't I share exactly how we spoke to Sean and Kim, because that's a real true story.
Sure, go ahead.
So what happened was the first people that we thought of was Sean and Kim McLean. And essentially I called him, and he's got a really funny story that we won't get into the whole this time about, because we want to keep it short and sweet so you guys have a break before the next training. But essentially I just asked him and said, hey, do you trust me? And he said, yeah, I trust you. He said, no, do you really trust me? And he said, yeah. And I go, well, hey, if you're open to hearing some information, I really think that we found something that's awesome. So in this case, we led with the opportunity, because again, we didn't know the power of the products at that point, which was actually kind of cool. And we said, hey, we've done some research. We've looked into something. We feel that the community is really strong, and it really hits what was important to us was that we have a community. We have a phenomenal opportunity that we can share with other people. So when we shared that with Sean and Kim, it just so happened to be the right thing to say to them, because we had known that they were looking for an opportunity. So that's one way you could do it. Now, how would you share with a customer? Like you're talking to a girlfriend, how do you bring that up?
Before I get into that real quick, then he led Sean, he went to a live opportunity Zoom. So the opportunity Zooms we were just talking about, and then he got on a call with somebody else. He got on the call with Chris. I think it was Ian. I think it was all the above.
So after we connected to a video, to know a little bit more about it, Sean and Kim had the right idea of what we're talking about, like what is this opportunity? And then instead of us answering all the questions, and really we couldn't answer the questions, which worked out to our benefit because we really didn't know in the beginning. And I encourage you to act the same, like, hey, I don't know all of that, and just be excited. But then when we connected him, it helped fill in the gaps, and he said, hey, these are some pretty cool people I'd like to do business with as well. So that's the other power of the connect.
Right. So as far as the product goes, there's lots of different ways to essentially open the conversation. I think that would be based on, are you talking to people you love, you care about? Are you talking to somebody, maybe you met somebody at a coffee shop in person? So that might be a little bit different. But it really just looks like, I really just ask if people are open to taking a look at what we're doing. I thought of them, and if not, no big deal. In the scenario of a product, and say, hey, came across a product and it's really impacted my life. I thought of you. Are you open? I just ask if people are open before I word vomit on them, right? We don't want that. We want to be excited, but it's good to ask if people are open, right? You don't want to send out your link and all these links and telling you it doesn't work. Don't do it. We've made that mistake in the past and previous ventures. So ask if people are open, and if not, no big deal, right?
Yeah, if you ask if they're open to hearing about it, then the message becomes a little more receptive. That's definitely a good practice.
Right, yes. And even people in your warm market. So asking if people are open, and simply, do you drink coffee at all? And you want to say at all, because sometimes people drink coffee part-time and they don't want to exclude themselves out, or they don't want to think, oh, well, I'm not a full-time coffee drinker. So that's why we say at all. Do you drink coffee at all? If they don't, would they be open to trying it if they knew it would make them happier? Or now we have 2 other options for products as well, right? We have the Zest, the Happy Lemonade, or the chocolate. But before we didn't have that. So do you drink coffee at all? Have you heard of the happy coffee everyone's talking about? Guys, use this. It honestly works. People don't want to feel left out. That's why we say, have you heard of the happy coffee everyone's talking about? And that's a great opportunity to share a story, to utilize the ahappydose.com video link. How soon can you take a look at a 3-minute video explains all about it? Or connecting them to a story on the Facebook page. So these are all different tools and resources that you can utilize.
I like another question that Chris asked, when we connect him to calls too, and maybe we don't pick up on it as much, but he asked, do you know anybody who would like to or likes being happy at all? See, that's another cool one too, because if maybe they're not coffee drinkers, but if you could say, hey, do you know anybody that likes being happy or who would like to be happy? Well, the general answer should be, yeah, I know a lot of people, right? Or, well, I really would like to be happy. So that's a really good way to open it up to either a product connection or a business connection. I think that's a really good question he asked. And we don't share as often, but I think we should start, because when we do connect Chris, he does use that. So it's a good tool, yeah.
Right. Also, because we do want to be mindful of everyone's time jumping into the next call, I think we should kind of wrap it up with a few things. And I do know we want to go a little bit into mindset as well. So just to remind everyone, if you missed the beginning of the call, so the monthly goal, you have 2 monthly goals this month, and every single month going forward.
And it's a goal, not a quota. So what we mean by that is, if you don't do it, totally fine. It's your business. We love you where you're at. If you have goals and you really think that November's the month, I think this would be a great way to get out of our comfort zone. And look, here's another way to connect. Connect with your upline, connect with your leader, connect with whoever you resonate with, and ask them to hold you accountable and show you some of the action steps that we covered there to get this done. So, yeah.
So number 1, 7 new Dose customers, 7 new customers on Dose. That is goal number 1 for this month. Goal number 2 is 3 new business partners on a pack, whether it's the 250 or the 500. Bare minimum, you accomplish that this month. You'll make at least, bare minimum, $439.66, which honestly can, I know, impact and change a lot of people's lives. And encourage your team, if they're not on this call, get that message out there. Do it together as a team. Say, hey, these are our goals this month. Let's do it together. Let's lock arms and get this opportunity and product out there. We can change and impact a lot of people's lives. So let's get into a little bit of mindset as well.
Yeah, and real quick, guys. So Cassandra's saying 7 customers and 3 business partners. You should try for that every month. So maybe one month you get 4 customers and 1 business partner. And the next month you get 2 customers and 3 business partners. And then maybe the one month you get 8 customers and 5 business partners. The point is that you're trying every month. We notice that if you have a goal, a very specific goal, and you know the exact outcome, so this is a very detailed, specific goal, 439 minimum is your profit, and 7 new customers and 3 new business partners, it's easier to hit that. So that's not just this month, November. We're just excited about November. We want you to hit your goal. So that's every month, and if you haven't done it, totally okay. But this month would be a great month to try, and it starts today. So that's why we're doing the training. We want to encourage you to get out of your comfort zone and try that.
And remember, teach someone that or do that yourself, and that's going to get you to star.
Right. The most important rank, because If you can get to star, that means that you have some people on your business, right, in your business team. And if you can teach them and show them and they can do the duplicatable system, you can get to bronze. And if you can do that and they can get to star and they can get to bronze and you can get to silver and so on and so forth. And that is actually the key of network marketing that I don't think people really understand how powerful that is. It's simple, duplicatable systems that we implement, and there's really no tricks or anything other than that of how we build the business. So guys, to shift gears before we get off the call, we just want to shift in a mindset about how important and how incredible this opportunity is. Now, we know that you may know that because you probably heard a story that got you involved in this conversation. But to be totally honest, pulling ourselves into this, this really did change our life. It transformed our life in a massive, massive way. Obviously, with the people that we have in our community, we have a phenomenal team and people that we call family. We've been able to do things on our bucket list because of this. We're much healthier. I know Cassandra and I get blood work every 90 days, not making medical claims, but our blood work comes back better all the time. This is absolutely incredible to share. So we wanted to just explain to you guys that you should never really be too nervous or hesitant to share with other people because it could drastically change their life, even if it's just as a customer. If they're just a happy customer, how many tens of thousands of people have their lives been changed just for being a customer? And going into November, I think it's important to notice that November is the month that you get paid on December 15th. So that's your Christmas. That's your Christmas pay. So think of this. Say, hey, you know what? Maybe I'm a little nervous to talk to people, or maybe I'm a little nervous to talk to Sally about the coffee, or hey, I know John would be great in the business, but I'm just a little bit nervous. Maybe this is the time to really get with that person that motivates you or that can hold you accountable and think, you know what, I'm really going to do it this month because not only did the company break all sorts of records last month, I want to be a part of that. Maybe this is speaking directly to you where, you didn't take the action that you wanted to that last month, and that's totally okay. But this month you're sort of feeling like, hey, you know what, this is my month. Our family's going to have a phenomenal, this is going to be the best Christmas we've ever had. Maybe that's what motivates and resonates with you. And maybe you're thinking, hey, I know December is the month before 2020. I want to have the most transformational year I've ever had in my life. I know that's one of our goals every single year is to constantly improving ourselves, constantly having the coaching and being around people who make us better people. So this is your perfect opportunity to start November, have the best December 15th check and also Christmas you've ever had, and then get you prepared for 2020, because I believe 2020 globally is going to be a year of change for people, where people actually take action, not like where people sign up at the gym and then in January and then in February, 50% fall off, right? We've all done it. I totally get it.
I want to add as well. I know, and congratulations to everyone for a phenomenal, last month. I mean, it's just amazing to see all of the rank ups, and not only the rank ups of people that are brand new signing up, a customer, a new business partner, everybody counts, and we're super proud of everybody. But one thing that I want to share is I know that it's like last minute, like last 5 minutes, last 5 hours, last day, I know there were some people that were short, and I'm going to admit it. We were short. We were short on hitting that next rank. And the reality is we have to be accountable for that. We could have done a lot more in the beginning of the month. So what's today, the 2nd? So instead of waiting to start your business in your month, a week, 2 weeks, the 3rd week, the 4th week in, start today and have the momentum in the beginning of the month that you do at the end of the month. You'll finish the month strong, and you won't be hustling until literally 12 a.m. at night thinking, oh, if I would have had one more customer, right? So if you guys do have those goals and you do want to build this business, do it now. Don't wait. And remember, if you have teammates on here and you're leading people, your team is going to do what you do. So the best way to lead your team is to be the example. I know that we are going to be contacting more people because obviously this is the time. We have our own goals, but we know having that high personal production is going to set the example for people. And we know how much of an impact that we want to make in people's lives.
Yeah, no, great points there, guys. So in closing, I want you to really think about what it means to you. Why did you join this opportunity? Why did you do the opportunity side of things versus just be a happy customer, right? We all want to experience more in life. We all want to have that extra income coming in for ourselves and our families. So I really want you to attach to your why on this Saturday. Really think about what would it mean to hit those goals. Maybe your goal is to have that extra $500 to $1,000 a month. That would really help a lot of people, right? It could probably help you a lot. Maybe your goal is greater than that. Whatever your goal is and whatever the reason why you want to do that, really tie into that, revisit that. If you guys have vision boards, that would be a great time to really look over your vision board and say, hey, I know by achieving my goals and by really pushing in November and having a really strong check in December, maybe it's your first check, and that would be amazing. Imagine your first check. For people on the Zoom that haven't received a check or a check that they wanted, maybe December 15th is the time that you're going to get it, and it's going to really bless yourself and other people this Christmas season. And going into 2020, you're setting yourself up. Think of this is like 2 months of practice. You have 2 months of practice before you get into it. You're going to go through the action steps. This is like your getting started training, which we alluded to earlier. This is like your sort of like your boot camp almost. Right. You're getting yourself ready for action in a massive year. Here's what I know, guys. There's thousands of people in this community and in this company that have started off with extremely humble beginnings. And I'm going to tell you, Chris alluded to in his Facebook Live, that's part of our story. Part of my story is actually that, when I first started this profession, all I knew was to take massive action. I didn't know anything about, how systems worked or nothing like that. I was told to just go tell people it's going to help other people, and that's what I did. And turns out that's actually a winning formula for success. So before you think that you have to go through all the trainings and be an expert and do all that, guys, take massive action, because the truth is we're just sharing a cup of coffee. It just so happens that this cup of coffee or chocolate or now lemonade helps a lot of people. And if you genuinely want to help people and you genuinely can share that, you're going to have a successful business and be a part of this incredible community.
Also, have that number that you're going to reach out to every single day, something you're going to commit to no matter what. If you don't feel good, or if you work a full-time job, or you run a household, whatever that number is, have a specific number of people that you're going to reach out to every day, no matter what. Have that accountability partner and say, hey, did you reach out to X amount of people today? Maybe it's 5, maybe it's 10, maybe it's 2. I don't know. And I also want to share, I know there's a lot of new people on here. And by the way, welcome to the team, to the new people, but maybe people that have been in this business for a little bit longer. I do want to share a quick story. Don't think that it's too late for you to start now your business, because and I don't know if she's on here, but I am going to share your sister's-in-law story, because I think it's a super powerful story.
Yeah, so this is important, guys. So a lot of people think we want the closest people to us to experience the products and obviously benefit like we are, or we hope to, from the opportunity. But the truth is, my sister-in-law, mother of 3, she's a wife, she's a phenomenal woman. She lives a busy life, and for a long time, and she would tell you, basically life just got the better of her, and she didn't really know.
What's long?
22 months.
22 months she was in the business.
So she was involved the same time we are. And I'm telling you this story because it's actually more powerful than Cassandra and I's story. Cassandra and I's story is, this is our 3rd rodeo. We came right out of the gate, and we called as many people as possible that we love, trust, and cared about, and we did well. And you know what? That might resonate with people, but I think what resonates with a lot of people is Monica's story, that for 22 months she really didn't do much. And
that's okay. It wasn't her season and her time. Also, I believe this is her first network marketing adventure too.
Pretty much, yeah. She kind of did the sign up and be a business partner, more of like a happy customer, but came in with a business pack sort of thing. But the truth is, once she started to plug in, she really started to take action, because she's not shy to talk to people. Maybe she just didn't have the direct words to do it. And once she did plug into the training and knew what to say and started taking the action steps, I think it was as simple as 2 people a day. Guys, 2 people a day is 60 people a month. Right. That's a lot of people. So to hit 7 customers and 3 business partners, that's easy if you can just do 2 new people a day.
Right. So she decided this was her time. And you know what? I'm tired of waiting, and I'm tired of saying no to this business, because really for her, it was saying no to her kids. She wanted to provide more for her kids, and She said, hey, you know what? This is my time. I'm going to take action and build my business. So because she said yes, because she plugged into the system that we shared, the trainings, plugged into the calls, last month, Monica not only went to star, but she went to bronze, and she was this close to going to silver, which is absolutely incredible. So if Monica can do it, help run an additional business. She has a full household. Trust me, if you go over there, you would see it. 3 young little girls. If she can do it, I'm telling it, you guys can do it.
Yeah, absolutely, guys. Yeah, I think someone wrote in here for your children. Yeah, so instead of having the kids, like I wish I could, but the kids, if your why includes your kids, if your why includes, a significant other, do it for them. Don't not do it because of them, if that makes sense. So guys, thank you so much for tuning in. We're super excited that Garrett and Sylvia are going to be rocking out.
What time is it? Just to give people specific time. So we have 20 minutes.
Yeah, make another cup of coffee.
Yeah, why not?
Actually, I'm out of time for some lemonade, so I'm excited about that. Jump on this awesome app training. We're going to learn all about it. We're
and the 90-day run. Yeah.
90-day run. So this ties in. Exactly. This ties
perfect.
in. You're going to know exactly what to do. You're going to be with a community of people who are doing it, so you're not doing it alone. Guys, this is team-based business. We love you. We care about you. We're excited to see your success stories pop up all over the Team Rise page, all over Virtue Group and other chats that you guys have.
And I know that this is in Team Rise right now, so if you have people that couldn't tune in, please comment their name below so that they can catch the replay of this video.
Awesome, guys. Thank you so much. See you on the next call.
Bye.
Rocking the mustache.
Thank you.
Bye.
Bye.
Great job.
Thank you, Canada.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank
Bye.
you.
Thank you.
Thank you.